He may just. Brilliant run by Hazard! Oh, that is absolutely phenomenal!
Away from 2, 3, 4. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
And then Ronaldo! What a goal by Cristiano Ronaldo! Sensational!
Lionel Messi!
Oh my goodness!
Lionel Messi does it again. He's superhuman.
It's Ronaldo. He's done it! He has only gone and done it! Cristiano Ronaldo!
Well, it's a long ball through and
Oh my God! An insane goal! Insane goal! I have ever seen! Into the penalty area towards Zidane! What about that? Salah! Oh wow! Oh! That is beyond special!
Sergio Ramos saves Real Madrid.
Kroos will go for it and score! An inspirational moment from Toni Kroos. Aguero!
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Football Podcasts, where me, Sandeep, Ashish will be discussing about football, Champions League, Europa League, and upcoming Euros. So we had UCL finals, we had UEL finals, but we couldn't cover because unavoidable circumstances, we say. But let's talk about it. So Sandeep, what's your take on UCL finals?
So
2021.
Chelsea are the champions of Europe, and it was kind of a 50-50 chance. We all knew that both teams had equal chances. Both teams were really good. It was the battle of the two best defenses in Europe, and fine margins. Chelsea took those fine margins, winning it. Some tactical. What can I say? That tactically maybe
Geniuses.
Tuchel did a really good job. Means beating Guardiola 3 times is definitely something that deserves credit. Something that is appreciable a lot, and that defense was extremely tough. We all saw how much Man City was trying to break that defense, how much they were trying to create chances, putting crosses, highs, lows, putting through balls, but they weren't able to make it because that 5-man defense and the holding defensive midfielders, the gap was very close in the defensive area. Chelsea was too tight for Man City to penetrate into. It was obvious. We all knew that the one who will score first will be winning, and so that happened as well. That Kai Havertz goal and that Mason Mount pass getting right, intersecting right into the middle of their Man City defense, which was so up in the line. I don't know where were their defenders and what was Zinchenko doing also.
It was very much similar to that of Torres goal, I think back in 2012
Yes.
against Barcelona. So, okay, Ashish, you tell me then. Tuchel joined in the middle of the season where Chelsea were at 9th or 8th, 9th, I guess, 9th, when Lampard got sacked by Roman. So how do you see this? Like Tuchel coming in the middle of the season and just change the defense altogether and just winning it in the end. How do you reckon this?
Well, a big like Lampard deserves too much credit for the team that he built for Tuchel to take over, right? like Chelsea did some impressive signings this year, and we know Timo Werner like failed to fire, but like he has been the leading scorer for Germany.
As well as
like
Chelsea.
as yeah, and that's surprising as well. Like considering the number of chances that he has missed, I kind of find it surprising. But anyway, like Tuchel did a massive makeover. Like even giving Rudiger a chance was, I think, that was a great decision from Tuchel. Like he was just warming the bench under Lampard, and then like giving Rudiger a new breath of life. I guess that made all the difference in the Champions League, and we really saw Chelsea's defense like an impenetrable fortress. Like even the likes of De Bruyne and all the like star-studded attackers that City had, they couldn't even penetrate that. Like and
How can
impressive marking.
Forget Raheem Sterling?
Oh man, he was not allowed to get into the box. Like
Because
in
he
the
was-
completely
because-
pocketed him.
Because he was in
Completely
the
pocketed
pockets of Reece James.
like in the entire two halves that we saw, like it was I guess he got into the box only once or twice, and like Reece James didn't even give him an opportunity to like go into the box, throw some cross or have a shot at a target. No, denied every time. Like just impressive defending, and like even whatever game plan either of the side had cooked, it all went down the drain with some early injuries. But still the substitutes managed to come on for Chelsea and even managed to do the job. So congratulations.
I think Pep could have done differently. He could have used CDM because if I remember watching that game, I think it was Gundogan in place of Fernandinho or Rodri. So I think he wasn't holding up the game, which City used to do in the past. I think that could have made a difference because he was completely free at times. Nobody was marking him. He just wasn't existent at that point of time. So, I mean, this also, too much complications in the end, I guess.
I mean,
But
see, that was the only time he didn't use either Fernandinho or Rodri in this entire season. 49 matches out of 50, he used either Fernandinho or Rodri. The one match he didn't use them was the Champions League final.
can argue in Guardiola's favor because a defensive team like Chelsea, you need to continuously keep on attacking to expose the defense, right? So like it can't be argued. Like if the decision would have gone in Man City's favor, we wouldn't have doubted his decision. So I guess maybe he kind of overthought things a bit, but I think attacking was the way to go for Man City. Like considering the defense Chelsea had mounted, continuous attack was the only key to. Yeah, to be true. Yeah, it was definitely the mount did all the difference. But not to say City's defense was exposed multiple times. Like we saw Timo Werner taking attacking runs, and even though there were chances early on, even though it couldn't get converted, but Timo Werner was deadly taking runs, and City couldn't counter that. So I guess.
I think you were talking about Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker. Track like he should be tracking Ben Chilwell or Timo Werner. I think that's where Pep got exposed, and I think took it on. I think similar incident, not similar, but I think when you're overcomplicating in the finals, Ole did the same in the Europa League finals. Like he couldn't bring his substitution up until extra time. So do you think final like these tend to make just overthink a bit? They just deviate from their plans and just things don't work out.
Yeah, Villarreal is a pain in the ass in terms of how defensive they can get. What was that formation you were saying earlier? It was 9-1. 1-9-1.
That was yellow somewhere in parked in front of the goal, literally. It's like Manchester United used to place around 5 to 6 players in the attacking position, 2 in the wings, 4 in the box. Still couldn't reach it. I mean, lucky goal, I think.
You know,
I mean,
that's the way how evening becomes good. 191.
it was a very sad beginning for Oli. Though he was very close to winning silverware after 2.5 years, and media criticized him a lot. Even Pep gets share of criticism, but he eventually ended with 2 trophies. So left a bit. Oli could have got one. So I mean, that's very missed. So let's see.
Yeah,
in the
but
next season.
Manchester United might have missed out on some silverware this season, but kudos to Ole for bringing together this wonderful team, man. United has done wonders this time, and I think they finished second, right, in the league.
Unbeaten the entire season in away matches.
So the next season should be interesting considering the team that they have, and Cavani, what a signing! Cavani and Bruno Fernandes completely changed the team. But to be honest, the League, man, that was a nail biter. I think Daya wouldn't be able to sleep for weeks, considering how heavy the responsibility was on his shoulders. But it was an absolute nail biter. You don't expect to see matches like this every now and then. Can you imagine 11 penalties, man?
22 penalties, if you see.
Yeah, 22 penalties to be exact. The complete both sides took. What a nail!
Difficult to imagine.
That is what happens.
In a football match.
That is what happens when you show a Uno reverse to Scott Sterling. That was
We even saw
shit.
pre-match interviews of Ederson, right? Even he was prepared to take penalties if it came for a similar situation for Man City. Sadly,
he was practicing a lot. I have seen so many videos of Ederson taking penalties, and even he had, I will take the last one. If he personally requested Pep to take the last one.
Yeah. Sadly, all that practice went into vain. Considering the defense Chelsea mounted.
Or of being a sweeper keeper.
So yeah, that was the end of a good CL and UL season.
So that was all for today's podcast, where we reviewed the Champions League final and the Europa League final. We hope you liked our video. Let us know in the comment section about what you would like us to cover next. We'll be back soon with another podcast ahead of the Euros 2020. So make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell icon. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram, where we post regularly on updates on transfers, OTDs, engaging football opinions, etc. Thank you.